Welcome to Prime Latino Media Salon. I'm Theo Louis, and how can I start off? It's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a celebration, it's a party. I'm here with Lina Sarrello is her professional name, and we know her in Prime Latino Media. Also, she's part of my Cuban mafia that I'm very proud that she's part of, but everybody's welcome here from our 19 countries, Spain, and so on. But Lina's trilingual. She speaks Spanish fluently. She's done productions in English and Spanish, obviously English, but she's also fluent in Italian. Quickly, why and what's your legal surname?
So
Your legal maiden surname or
my
your legal name.
maiden, well, actually, my husband actually changed his name as well. Um, so my father was Italian from Italy, from Naples, and my mother is Cuban, and I was raised in Miami, so Cubanita, de Miami. And my surname is Sarrapoquielo, which is way long. And I realized when I was trying to do castings in Spanish, which is my first language, that people were like, that's an Italian last name. We can't cast you. You're Italian. You're not Spanish. You're not Latina. And I was like, okay. So we shortened it, just took the middle out. I also had an agent, a casting director agent who was like, no one's ever going to pronounce that. Change your name. So I ended up
Well,
shortening it.
so it's Lina Sarello is how we know, love, and respect you professionally.
Mhm.
And a complete transparent disclaimer, we rarely ever recycle in Prime Latino Media Salon interviews. And I interviewed you 3 years into Prime Latino Media in 2015. We know one another as professional colleagues, but I also consider you family and consider your loved ones family also, because you, on top of, I mean, where do I start off with you? You're an actor. I
Mhm.
put that loud and clear. And again, when you talk about casting, you and I have talked about the disasters and nightmares of casting. And because of that, you are part of a multi-hyphenated artistic generation that you're unfortunately, and our benefit, being pushed out of just acting to actually producing and creating your content because you're so frustrated with the crap that you're asked to do in casting, that, as we say in Spanish, no te ha quedado ningún remedio. It was, you had no choice. So you have written, produced, and acted in a Cuban themed play called Out There that
Mhm.
I saw and loved. You did a phenomenal TV pilot playing with evil and good and the devil and past and future called Denizen that blew me out of the water, that you produced yourself, that you wrote. Elaine Del Valle was one of your biggest supporters with that project. And then I've seen you as a musical actress singing and dancing. And it's like, and now this is why I brought you in. You are now going to school to get your MFA as a filmmaker because you want to hone in on your craft. So you're here in regard to, you're already in school. This is your first semester. How the hell is that going? As you also juggle a marriage, you juggle a home, which we all do, irrespective of our gender. But you also have your aunt
Mhm.
who is 90 living with you and your 84-year-old mother. Thank goodness they're not hearing this and hearing their ages being disclosed, but you've got them living with you too. You know, may the universe bless you for the goodness that you do in the world. How is it going back to school now? And again, why?
Okay, so it's really been amazing. I've had a ton of fun. I have an amazing crew that I've been working with at school that I was assigned, but it just turned out that we were all awesome. And and we've been producing a bunch of short films. I think between the four of us, we've done something like 20 short films at this point. just in the first semester, just in like 9 weeks of school.
We're also
Um,
talking films that are approximately 3 minutes in length, correct?
yes, they're micro shorts. And so it's assignments that we have to film every weekend. So we've been crewing and filming for each other every single weekend. And it's been awesome. And I've taken to it like a fish water, and I love it. The reason I did it is not really that I was pushed out of acting, because I'm still acting. I'm still
Right.
booking stuff and doing work. I just, there's women in particular are in this industry are treated kind of like second class citizens. We don't get the cool roles once we reach a certain age. We're treated kind of like a side piece, and especially women of color. And so I wanted to change the narrative. I wanted to start including more women over 35, doing the things that we do in real life, because we're not invisible. And
But what I find
inviting,
interesting is that you bring such a vast amount of experience. I feel sorry for your fellow students because I think you have such an edge over them, not only life experience, but again, you have produced, you have been in front of the camera, you've been technically behind the camera, that you want to hone in, perfect those skills. So I've seen 4 of your shorts that you've made, and incredible two that you're already submitting to film festivals that I can't wait to screen to our constituency. And the one film that we're going to show, your short, picks up on that part of casting, of what happens when a woman is over 35. As my mother-in-law used to say, gray distinguishes a man and extinguishes a woman. And of course, she was born 1919. She's of another generation, and now the new 40 is the new 20. So, and you do this one piece that I loved called Lost and Found. And in Lost and Found, the opening scene is you, for lack of a better term, and we don't normally apply this to Cubans because we're too vain and too self-conscious, that you look completely disheveled. Your hair is completely like gray and out of place, close up on your face, which normally most
with no makeup.
actresses with no makeup, which most actresses would never, ever allow. And that was part of the story
Mhm.
in Lost and Found. What was the inspiration for that?
Breakups, women get dumped, and we go through divorces and we go through breakups, and it's basically about a woman who
Don't give
uh,
the punchline away.
who gets dumped and how she deals with it, how she recovers.
And boy, for someone, we've all got a story to share during pandemia. You ended up going back to Miami because you had to take care of this aunt that you now brought to New York
Hmm.
because her only son died. So you were holed up in Miami for 6 months, almost a year.
Yeah.
And so you have been through a lot of chapters, as we all have in our lives, and knockdowns, but you always get up. To me, you are so inspiring in that respect. Going back to school, you're like an Adele Morales who at
At 50.
39 went back to get his second master's, at NYU. And there's a whole generation of you saying, we're still in the game
Right.
and we want to define that game and we want to up our ante.
And
So,
change the narrative.
and change the narrative. So ultimately, when you graduate, bringing it to a close our interview, what do you want to do next? Because you're all about next, Lina.
So I'm going to school to be a director. That's what I want to do. I want to be a film director, TV. Um, I just and I've been directing in theater for a while and writing in theater, but for me, I just like the permanency of, I don't know if that's even a word, but the permanency
Actually, as
of film.
I'm much more of a film person. You are
I'm much more theater.
you you embody theater, but you also are great at film, that the beauty of film is you immortalize
It's there
an
forever.
experience. It's there forever. And that's
And you
what I
can
love.
perfect it.
And you
That's the
can
thing, is
perfect.
like theater, there's always like a little kink that you can always make it better, but film, you can actually perfect it and solidify it in this immortal little piece that can go out there forever. So
Well,
that's what I like about it.
let's show the world, some of your best footing and what you're doing in this new chapter. And just remember us when you get that Emmy, Academy Award down the line. The little people, you're Latinos who supported you, you've always been part of our community, and we will always root you on. So we leave you with her latest short film, Lost and Found, Lina Sarrello, here at Prime Latino Media Salon. I'm Theo Louis, and could not be prouder to interview yet another inspiring member from our group. Besos.